So those who will join later can watch the replay. So today we have more into-depth training, not a live demonstration like yesterday. So today we are going to talk about the digital transformation in the financial services industry, and more specifically, we're gonna talk about the fintech, and we're gonna talk about the FinTech Essentials. Well, this is not going to be a deep dive training. We cannot cover everything. We need 2 or 3 days to cover everything. However, we will bring certain topics which will promote some thinking from your side. And if you have any questions about it, if you have any wishes for me to go even deeper this, just let me know, and we are going to do it. So that's the agenda, and at the end of the stream, as always, there will be a dedicated Q&A session where you can ask me whatever questions you like. So I was just checking whether the full screen is working when you are going to have questions. So now we are going to go back to the presentation. Okay, let's continue. So basically, we're going to talk about the fintech, and even though it looks like a super complicated term or something that was invented, we are going to define it really, really easy, and we are going to start from the past, where you will see that this has been starting a long time ago, as soon as banking has evolved in this new era. So let's start with defining. We are not going to use some kind of academic definition, or we are not to use some footnotes or some to quote research paper. That's not the aim. This is not faculty. This is practical training. So what it is, fintech is, before we define it, let's see these people. I was going to ask you, was anyone from you this happy when they needed to go to the bank? Like the day is starting, you say, yeah, today is the day I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to wait in line. Then I'm going to sign all those paper. I'm going to ask for some questions on topics that I do not know, that I'm not confident in. So, I would spend a lot of time to go there, find parking, then prepare the paperwork. And how many times you have went to the bank, and and things didn't go as planned. You forgot some kind of document, some identification. Especially if you're doing business banking, you need to sometimes to take the stamp. I know for me, sometimes I forget the stamp when I need to go to bank. So that's why this industry is evolving, because let's face it, there is a need. No one enjoys to go to the bank all day and every day and to pay the bills or everything. No one is enjoying. That's why no one is this happy. If you are happy when you go to the bank, share it with me. Especially, it could happen. Example, if you work in the bank, you might love your job and you're really, really happy when you go there. Or if you're doing some big deals and the day is the D-Day when you're going to do that big deal, then of course, yeah, I agree. Then you like. But most of the people do not want. That's why they invented the ATMs. So the ATMs, you have used them all, but even they are evolving, especially in this fintech area. That means that now you have more and more functions and more features that you can do on those ATMs. In example, I really like using caching ATMs, because I can take cash and put it into the ATM. I do not have to go and wait in line. Example, if you need to pay something on your credit card, or if you're a business and you take cash payments, you do not need to wait. And also, it's really important, this cashing ATMs works 24/7. That means even in the evening, if you have time, even during the weekends, you can use them. You do not need to wait in line and go to the bank. And also, they're more convenient because you can find more ATMs than branch offices of the banks. Also, these ATMs are evolving, so now you can do a lot there. You can pay your bills, You can buy stocks even on the ATM. You can make some kind of to execute some kind of payment. You can change your PIN. You can do a lot of things. So the things are evolving. So that's why we are going to define fintech. The fintech is simple: finance plus technology. So if you see mix of finance and technology, that's the fintech. Don't try to find some kind of academic definition what it is, to do some complicated jargon which the academic use. Is just finance and technology mix. So if you find a way to incorporate some kind of technology in the finance world, whether it's personal banking, business banking, investment, payments, we're going to check all those cases. That's fintech. The mix, finance and technology, when they are used at the same time, then we say it's fintech. That being said, that being behind, if you have any questions, I'm monitoring the chat. Feel free to ask it. And for those watching on YouTube, it's called Coffee with Daniel. So I have my coffee. If you have coffee or tea, you're more than welcome. Take a sip and think about the question that you might ask. Okay, everything looks fine. Let's continue. Now we are going to talk more about usage of fintechs. We mentioned the ATMs. So most of the time when you think about usage, you think about payments. So we have PayPal, we have Apple Pay, we have Google Pay, of course. You have Stripe, WeChat Pay, and even Alipay. So you know how big is PayPal. It was one of the founders it was Elon Musk together with Peter Thiel. Yeah, I have read both of those books, Peter Thiel books and the biography of Elon Musk. I strongly recommend them. And this is a huge industry. So most of you have paid online. That means if you go on a certain website or even on your mobile in your app, you can go and pay directly. That means you will enter your credit card number, some details, your name. Sometimes they are going to ask the address, and boom, it's done. You can pay it. But see this from a different perspective. See it from the merchant's point of view. This is really important for the merchants because you can take payments worldwide. You do not need to accept invoices, which invoices can be a hassle. Ask me how I know. You can wait for days, for weeks. The bank can make some mistakes. So the international banking is a nightmare. You have different type of bank accounts in the USA, different in the UK, in Europe. You have international banking account number. In Japan is also different. You have sort code, routing number, checking number, Swift network. So it's a nightmare. And in this way, you're going just to put this integration on the website, and in minutes you can receive payments. Of course, there is a process for you to be approved by the merchant, and especially PayPal and Stripe. They are doing really good. Stripe is now the fastest growing fintech company. They have headquarters in Dublin. They also have offices in the USA, and they are the fintechs, meaning that they are not the providers of merchant accounts, but they are using the technology to do all those integration, because there are tons and tons of softwares. I know we as part of my company, we do a lot of payment integrations, doing some funnels, upsells, downsells, bump offers. It's really complicated, and thanks to Stripe, it's becoming much easier. And also, let's talk about Apple Pay and Google Pay. I'm glad to announce that our company is allowed to take payments in the app, both from Apple and from Google. It was really difficult to achieve that, but we have built one mobile app. So I'm talking first-hand experience. This is nothing that I have read in in some kind of book or some kind of newspaper or anything online. It's first-hand experience. So when you are going to build an app, in order for you to receive payments, either on the Apple Store or on the Play Store from Google or from Apple, there are certain criteria that you need to fill in. And after that, you can take payments. That means it's really easy. Anyone who has a Google account and connected a bank account or a card or especially Apple ID, that's even easier. Almost everyone who has an Apple ID has a credit card connected to it. You can take payments really easy. That means there is no hassle. You don't need to enter certain numbers. You're just going to receive the payment. Here is not mentioned, but also Square, founded by the founder of Twitter, is also a billion-dollar company. They are also great in this fintech usage in payments, and they use I don't know, can you see it? This type of payments, they started with the small merchants. So if, in example, if you are a consultant and you go visit some kind of office, and you can take the invoice right away. You can even take payments from a mobile phone. So if you use Android, they use NFC, and using the NFC you can pay, and also you can pay through Apple if you have an iPhone, through Apple Pay. So this is one of the most common. This industry is going to grow. We're not going back. More and more the payments will be part of our ecosystem, our day-to-day life, and we are going to use them more and more. Next is the banking. There is a saying, banking is necessary, but banks are not. So if you know who said this, write it into the chat. I'm monitoring the chat. You will see after 1 minute who said that. And I agree, banking is necessary, but whether the banks are not, we're not certain. At the moment, yes, they are necessary because this ecosystem is still not developed. But even the regular traditional banks, they are moving online. They're using more and more fintech types of services. So it's said by Bill Gates. So now we have digital only banks. It's Wise, formerly called TransferWise. You have Revolt. That means that you can open a bank account even if you do not go to the bank. You can do it everything online. You just hop on the website, you fill in some questionnaires, you upload your ID or your passport, and in example, if they want to verify if you do a large payment, there is also a way. They will set up a live Zoom call or Google Meet or whatever, and they will speak with you, and they will ask for you to showcase your password parallelly on that live stream. So that means traditional banks will say, okay, but I need to know who is applying. I need to know my customers. I need to see the ID, the passport. They can forfeit. They can make it fake, in Photoshop. But this is the way how these digital-only banks are verifying the customers. That means they will hop on a call and they will talk to you. You will see it's a real person. It's same like visiting the branch, and you will showcase your passport. They will read it parallelly, and that is it. So as we said, the sign up is really easy. There is not a lot of paperwork. You will just see the terms and conditions, and you will say, I agree. You're going to accept the conditions, and that is it. All of them have mobile platforms, mobile apps. Now even the traditional banks are part of the fintech ecosystem. Everyone has mobile platforms. You can check anytime how much money you have, how do you owe, or where you have invested. Previously, you had to go to the bank and say, okay, I want to check my balance. Tell me what is my balance, and tell me what has happened into the last month or so. So now that's not the case. And I strongly recommend for you to use this opportunity to pay your bills. Don't go and waste your time and wait in line to pay your bills. All of my bills are paid automatically every month. The time is the most valuable resource that you have, so use technology to do that. You can also do photo bill payments. There are apps. You're just going to take the phone. You're going to just take the phone. You're going to scan the bill, and everything is done automatically. And your bank account or your credit card will be connected to your iPhone or to your Android, and boom, the payment is paid. You can pay it online, or of course you can pay it with automatic payments, as I have. Through the app, you can reset pins, you can order cards. Example, if you have a Pioneer or something, you can order card online. It's same with Revolt, with TransferWise. You can do things exclusively through the apps. You do not need to go visit a branch. And the real-time data analytics is really convenient. At all time. Example, on Saturday evening, you can go and check what's happening. Let's go to our next usage. It's the investment part. So now this is really growing. I will move myself from the screen for you to read the bottom. So wealth and asset management, most popular are Mint.com, Robinhood. So you can invest through your app. You can buy stocks, you can buy index funds, you can buy even cryptocurrencies. You can automate your payments. You can do asset management through the app. So that's the usage. And also we have robo-advisors. That means you go into the app. Example, this is being used by Charles Schwab, Intelligent Portfolios, and Betterment. How this works? So you go to the bank and say, I am at that age. This is my risk tolerance. I want the lowest risk. I want high risk. I want a mix. I want 90% of low risk, 10% into a high risk. And you will answer some questions. How long do you plan to hold these assets? I want short-term gains, 1 year, 3 months, 5 years, 10 years. You're going to answer some questions, and then these robo-advisors will recommend a portfolio. So in example, you can go with I want all-weather portfolio, the famous portfolio of Ray Dalio. That means it will work in every climate, even if it's a recession, if it's a boom, even if there is inflation, even if the oil prices go sky high. It's all-weather portfolio. In example, you will say, I don't want to risk, so you can go that. So that's great for the ordinary investor. And what's the main advantage of using these robo-advisors instead of professional investment professionals is the cost. Because everything is automated here, they do not have marginal costs for every new customer. They can have economies of scales, and the software is doing that. If you go to investment advisor, they will charge you management fee. Usually is around 2%. So if you have a large portfolio and if you're serious in this game, yeah, sure, go to the investment advisor. I'm not against it. But in example, if you have